Hello to everyone. Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for you all, specifically for the chosen, but also directed specifically towards those of you who are aware of the fact that you have a divine union that you have not yet come into union with. So you have a divine partner out there that you have not come into union with. So I want to start off by telling you all about a dream that I had, and I want to pull the cards afterwards to see what's going on here. Also, for those of you who have been having difficulties sleeping, leave a comment below and let me know if you are a part of the no sleep crew for the past few days, because I have also been having that issue. But I'm well aware of the fact that there is a resisted energy out here. There is, those low vibrational beings who are conjuring up their little brew, doing the little witchcraft and conjuring up these demons to try to stop um, the gifts. Okay, they want to try to stop the gifts in term concerning the chosen. They want to try to block our gifts. They want to try to block our dream state, including the telepathic communication that is had between the divine masculine and feminine. There's a lot of energy, in terms of like the karmics who are operating in a very low vibrational state that want to try to cause division between the divine masculine and feminine. So let me know if you've been having trouble sleeping, and just know that it's not nothing to be concerned about. It's just more so because I find that when it happens with me, my gifts actually become more enhanced. Okay. And so it actually ends up working against those who call themselves trying to work against me, because my spiritual team is always on guard, always paying attention. So this is the thing. I had a dream a few nights ago, but I haven't had a chance to come on here because I've been exhausted from not sleeping. Okay. But everything happens in divine timing. So apparently it wasn't meant for me to bring the message a few days ago when I had this dream. So let me go ahead and tell you all about this dream. So I ended up, I was getting married in this dream. Okay. And in this dream, first of all, my marriage that I was getting ready to have in the dream, I had no hand in planning this event. And I'm going to tell y'all why I know this, okay? So it started off with me being in a dressing room, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm straightening out my makeup, trying to do my makeup, making sure that it looks, nice. I was in there alone, and I had on my wedding dress, but it was oversized, okay? It was falling off, and it was not even my style. It had a bunch of like, uh, what do you call it? Fake diamonds and, jewels and all types of stuff on it. It was not my style of dress. And again, it was oversized. So I knew that it was not planned. This wedding was not planned. Okay. But I had to show up for the wedding. And so I'm in there getting dressed or whatnot. And so I leave out of this dressing room and I go into the hallway, and I see a woman walking towards me with a large bouquet of flowers, and they were purple. So I said, okay, I reached my hand out. I put out both of my hands to get them because, I'm going to hold them like this, right? And so she ends up taking out one flower, and she had the ugliest look on her face, and she hands me one flower. So I said, okay, I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, apparently she has an issue. So I didn't kick up dust. I said, okay, I'm still going to carry on and move forward with this wedding. So I'm walking with my one flower, and I make it to the entrance of the, I guess you would call it the church entrance, which, okay, in 3D, I'm not having my wedding at no church. But I end up making it at the church entrance, okay, and I'm standing there getting ready to walk towards my groom, who is already at the front of the church waiting on me. Now, I identified this groom as being my divine masculine. I recognized him in the dream. So I'm standing there with this one flower, and everybody has all eyes on me, which you would expect that, right? Because I'm the bride. Well, the problem was the eyes that was on me was looks that could kill. Every single person that was at the wedding apparently hated me. And apparently they did not want to see this wedding happen, the wedding actually occur. But yet and still they was there front and center, which doesn't even make sense, right? It's like insanity. You don't want to see two people get married, but yet you're at the wedding, dressed up and everything. So I'm standing there, and so I realize, okay, I'm surrounded by a bunch of people that just don't want to see this happen. But when I get a glimpse at my groom, at my divine masculine, my first reaction is I broke down crying. And it was one of them cries that I felt in my soul, but it was not a cry that was of sadness. It was a cry of pure happiness and joy, just off the strength that I was getting ready to come into union with this person that I obviously had a strong soul tie connection to. And so I ended up waking up at this point in the dream. So I feel like there is obviously many of the unions that are getting ready to come together. But the issue is there's a lot of opposition. For it pertaining to divine masculine and feminine unions, I feel that the only people that really want to see these unions come together are the divine masculine and feminine and the small few, the small portion of people who are actually risen above their ego and have done the work to heal and who have evolved when it comes to their spiritual understanding. Other than that, it's more people that don't want to see it happen than there is people that do. Okay. And so this is what I was seeing in the dream, the resistance. But still, these people don't want to see it happen, but yet they're so infatuated with these unions. They're so infatuated specifically with the divine masculine and feminine, because as I told you all, the divine masculine and feminine are the chosen seed that come together and come into union with one another, the masculine energies and the feminine energies. But it's not just two individual people coming together. It's also that energy within yourself, your divine masculine and feminine energy balancing out. Okay, so there's a strong resistance to both, because the moment that you balance out your masculine and feminine, then you begin to elevate and rise into your divinity. Because at that point, you've done a lot of work to heal. You've stepped into your power. You've awakened your creative gifts. I mean, there's so many different things that comes with having true balance of your divine masculine and feminine internally. But outside of yourself and coming into union with your person, there has always been a lot of resistance from lifetime after lifetime after lifetime to prevent the two of you from coming together. And so you end up having karmic family, karmic friends, karmic lovers that come in between these unions. But at the same time, they become infatuated with the divine masculine, infatuated with the divine feminine, so much so that they don't want to let go. They don't want to let go, so they will do anything by any means necessary in hopes, because they can't ensure that nothing happens. They can't stop destiny, but they will do whatever they can with the hopes that that these unions will not come together. And it's greater than the karmics that surround you in your intimate circle. It's greater than that. This is the so-called powers that were, who don't want to see these unions come together, because that's reestablishing the kingdom. That's bringing the kingdom together. When these kings, queens, gods, goddesses, divine masculine and feminine come together, it brings balance to the kingdom as a whole. And so then theirs gets shut down, because now we've awakened, we've arisen, we have come into union, we've balanced the scales. And so then we end up getting back everything that is rightfully and inherently ours. Okay. Just like what you all see with the same things of these fairy tale movies such as Cinderella, Snow White, different things, Princess and the Frog, different things like that. They're showing the same, they're showing the divine unions and the resistance of these unions coming together, because there's always a witch somewhere around. There's always some sort of spell work that's being done to put the princess to sleep, or to put the masculine to sleep. There's always that type of energy in these movies. And so they are telling what is really happening behind the scenes. But, many people don't pick up on the message, but for those of you who are awakened now, it's very clear to you. And so in your actual circumstances, if you have actually met your divine masculine or feminine, there is karmics that's surrounding you that are very, very, very upset and angry about this. And so they're doing spell work. They're manipulating energy. They're working against the union. They're working against the individual person to keep them chained and bound and stuck to a certain way of thinking, or to certain fears, or to certain insecurities. That way they do not go and pursue their divine partnership. Especially, if the two of you have met, then being apart from one another becomes very difficult. Okay, it can be very draining if you allow it to do that, because in that moment, because there's that strong spiritual connection, you can actually use that energy. You can alchemize the energy and use it as an opportunity to send loving energy towards your partner while you are in separation. But a lot of times when people lack the understanding of alchemizing and transmuting the energy, then it becomes draining instead. And it can be very, very painful to be in separation from that person. So the karmics are they're very well aware of the fact that the unions are becoming very intense, and that magnetic pull is becoming much stronger. And they're also aware of the fact that the spell has been broken. Okay, the spell has been broken collectively off of the divine masculine and feminine. And I did a message, this was months ago, almost 10 months ago. If you all scroll through my timeline about 10 months back through my videos, you'll find that a message came to me called Spell Broken. I had a dream that was very specific and very detailed. And so the spell has come off. And because the spell has been lifted, many of those divine masculine and feminine who have been in karmic connections are now starting to see the true nature of that false person. They're starting to see the true nature of the false contracts that they have signed into if you have married these people. And so they're starting to also see the true nature of how it is preventing them from evolving, and the type of energy that is being attached to them as a result of staying in these karmic connections. Because it's like the karmics are becoming worse in their energy in terms of just their character, their spirit, the energy that they possess. They're becoming more evil, okay, is what I should say, just to be direct and straightforward. While the divine masculine and feminine are becoming lighter, and they're starting to gain that connection and a more divine connection to the Most High and their spiritual team, and starting to become one with the universe, and starting to understand who they are on a higher scale. And so it's becoming like water and oil between the karmics and the divine masculine and feminine. They just not meshing anymore. And so there is a pulling away that is happening now. That spell work is not working. And so that's making the karmics more angry, because they know that the further away this person pulls away from them, and the less they're connected or bound through their sex magic, or through whatever manipulative tactics they've been using, their fear tactics or trauma bonding, the more that the divine masculine and feminine pull away, that means the closer that they are getting to coming into union with one another. And so this is something that's very scary for the karmics, and they are panicking, because the thing is, they've been operating in dark magic and witchcraft, and being the host to the enemy to perform all of these really painful things against the divine masculine and feminine, that they know that the moment that that person walks out the door, the karmics are aware that the moment that person walks out the door and that spell has been lifted, that's when their karma has to now play out. They have to now deal with their karma in order to balance the scales. And many of them are afraid, because they know that they had to take a lot of measures. They was paying people to do spell work. They was doing it themselves, sex magic, manipulation. And even if it wasn't so-called spell work per se, which I'm going to tell y'all, most of them are operating in that energy. But if it wasn't spell work per se, then they was being used as a host because they were so low vibrational in their own energy that they was doing painful things, whether they was cheating, whether they was abuse, being abusive, mentally, verbally, financially, sexually, whatever the case may be. They was doing things against the divine masculine and feminine while they was in that partnership, and they themselves was underneath a spell and being used to wreak havoc on the lives of the divine masculine and feminine. And so because of this, they have to also deal with their karma. So let me just pull the cards. I want to see what's going on with this energy. Why is this dream coming out? Okay, I've already shuffled my deck, and I'm just going to randomly pull to see what comes out here. So the Tower. First card coming out is the Tower, okay? This is one of the reasons why, and because this card is in the reverse, it's showing me that they're trying to avoid the total breakdown of the union. The karmics do not want to see the union come down because they know that it wasn't built on a solid foundation. They're very well aware of this, okay? And so many of them are trying to prevent this tower from happening. And so how are they doing this? How are they trying to prevent it? Well, let's see. What are they doing to prevent this tower from taking place between between them and the divine masculine and feminine? So this is the Page of Swords in a reverse. They might even be threatening with slander, threatening to tell lies, immature communication, okay, gossiping. I feel like there is a threat, though, to slander their name. There is a threat to bring out some sort of lies in regards to the divine masculine and feminine. This is what they are doing, okay? That's very immature communication. What are they doing here? Look at this. They're striking up a bunch of chaos. They're wreaking havoc. And this is why I told y'all in my dream, these are the types of energies that was around me as I was getting ready to come into union with my masculine. People that were very resistant to our connection, and people who was they can't stop watching, though, because the Page of Swords is all about watching and stalking. They're so infatuated with the divine masculine and feminine, and this is all they know how to do is gossip, kick up dust, wreak havoc. They're trying to cause all of this drama and chaos for the divine masculine and feminine, because they really don't want to see these unions come together, and they know what's going to be left is they're going to have to fight amongst one another. So at this point, when all of the divine masculine and feminine come together, the only thing that's left is for karmics to deal with karmics. Now they're just going to have to deal with chaotic relationships that's going to bring tower after tower after tower, because they don't have that light and that pure energy surrounding them anymore coming from the divine masculine and feminine. They're only going to attract karmic relationships. You see what I'm saying? And so there is a resistance energetically. There is a resistance to that. Let's see what else is coming out. So we have, look at this. The Six of Swords is coming out in the reverse. They want, what their tactic is to keep the divine masculine and feminine stuck, to keep them from moving forward. So they're trying to cause a lot of chaos, drama, fighting, arguing, maybe even including outside people into the situation to kick up dust towards the divine masculine and feminine, all for the sake of avoiding the tower from coming down. So let's see. King of Cups. Yeah, because they're well aware of the fact that this person's emotions, male or female, but I feel like for me, I'm more drawn to the divine masculine energy with this card. Their emotions, they're starting to feel like their intuition is starting to become more heightened. Their spiritual gifts are beginning to awaken. They are starting to have that love in their heart again for their divine feminine. And so a part of the spell work that was done over the divine masculine energy was to block off their heart chakra and to keep them from operating from a space of self-love, to keep them from awakening their own spiritual gifts and their intuition, because the moment that happened, they was going to start to feel that pull and that draw towards their true person. And so this is what's happening here. They know that the masculines are now, their heart is open, and that they are feeling the energy of their divine feminine. But see, they don't want these unions to come together, okay? Because this is generally like the 1111. If you've been seeing numbers like 1111, Even like 444, 333. These are indicators, for me, the 3 deals with the Empress, the 4 deals with the Emperor. And so there is this energy of the unions coming together, but with the 4 of Wands in the reverse, they don't want to see this happen. This is also the card of marriage as well. This is the card of marriage, proposing, moving in together. And so, like I said, with my dream that I had, even though we was getting ready to come into union, we was not in the right environment. Because first of all, in the 3D, when you get married, the only people that should be present at your wedding are the ones that support you. And so as the divine masculine and feminine, like I told y'all from the beginning, most people are going to be in opposition to that. And so you might find that you might only have 1 or 2 people at your wedding. But that's okay, because at least you don't have all of these people there to eyewitness it. They're only there to talk about you. They're there to slander you. They're there to send you the evil eye and to wish bad things on your marriage. That's what they're there for. That's why they're there front row and center, so that they can sit from the sidelines and, say in their own mind, this ain't gonna work. I'm hoping that they tear each other apart. I'm hoping you got all of these people sitting around you right there at your own union, something that's very sacred. You got these people within your sacred space bringing all of this low vibrational, wicked energy, evil eye, and all types of stuff. It shouldn't even be about the numbers. Okay, when it comes to the unions coming together, it should be about you and that person, and only the people that truly and genuinely support you. And you will know who those people are based on how they have been treating you and whether or not they support you removing yourself from these karmics. Okay, if they're trying to get you to stay in union with these karmics, then automatically they do not support your divine union. But if they are in opposition to the person, knowing that the two of you, whether you're, different from one another or not, it doesn't matter. When they are in opposition to that, then they should not be at your wedding. I don't care who they are. Mama, daddy, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa. They should not be sitting in your sacred space when the two of you are coming into union. And so this is what I'm picking up here. Let me see. I'm going to pull from my other deck to see what else I can pick up in terms of what they're putting out there concerning these unions. So this is the King of Swords. Look at this. At the bottom of the deck, you got the 9 of Swords. So I feel like they definitely want the masculines to be in this energy of just being cold and pretty much being cold and blocking off their heart right now. So I feel like they're creating, because you see this blackbird that's sitting above the masculine's head is a strong indicator that they are sending negative energy towards the masculine to keep them in this energy of resistance to their divine feminine. And so they're creating or they're hoping to create a energy, or to have him project an energy that is cold and emotionally blocked off from his feminine. Okay. We also have the Death card in a reverse. They do not want this to end. Like I said, they don't want these karmic relationships to come to an end. So they're holding on by a thread, because they know that the moment that this Death card, the moment that these connections, these unhealthy connections come to an end, that's when a transformation happens for the divine masculine and feminine. This says death and then rebirth. Okay. So that's showing you right there that there's a renewal. Okay. There's an awakening that happens. There's a transformative energy that happens. This person will never be the same after this relationship is now severed from their life, because they're not going to be the same, nor will their life be the same the moment that they release the karmic connection. So again, if you are divine masculine or feminine and you happen to be watching this and you know that you are still in union with a karmic partner, then know that you're not going to be able to receive your inheritance as long as you are connected to them, whether it be physically or spiritually, mentally, you want to clear them out all the way. You want to do a burning and releasing. I destroy and I release all cord attachments to this karmic partner, whatever their name is, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually, okay? In this lifetime and past lifetimes, all attachments I destroy and clear out that energy, okay? In spirit and in flesh, and burn it. Get that energy out, okay? Um, we also have the Seven of Pentacles here. So another thing that is being used to prevent the divine masculine and feminine from leaving is, okay, well, we've been together X amount of time. Because these karmic relationships, they last for a long time. You stay on that hamster wheel and that karmic cycle for a long time, because ultimately the goal is, after you've been hurt time and time and time again by this karmic, the goal is that your heart chakra will be so blocked that you'll never be able to come into union with your person. Because you got to have an open heart chakra to come into union with your person. An open heart chakra is a strong indicator that you've done the work to heal. And so Seven of Pentacles could indicate that you might have been with this person for 7 years or more. And if you haven't been with them that long, then just take a look at all of the chaotic energy that's taken place within the short time that you have been together. Because it might feel like a lifetime, you know, when you think about all of the things that you had to endure and pick yourself back up from. So I have the Ace of Pentacles. This is that offer that's coming in, okay, y'all? The masculine and feminine are getting ready to come together. And I do see that the opportunity is now presenting itself for many people. This is a seed that once it's planted, is going to grow. It's going to reap a very great harvest, okay? And so this is a new opportunity that is coming in, but look at this. The Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse. Many of the divine masculine and feminine are still stuck on the hamster wheel of that karmic cycle and are having a hard time getting off, because again, the resistance, there is a fight, there is a war against you. There is a war against you leaving these unions, okay? And so yeah, look at this. Eight of Cups is in a reverse. They do not want to see you walk away. These karmics are doing any and everything to keep you from walking away. In the upright, you're moving towards the sun. You are moving towards your happiness. And you see this bowl down here. I just told y'all, write, burn, and release. This is exactly what you will be doing. Putting that stuff in a bowl, burning it, and walking away from it. Leaving that person's energy behind and moving towards your happiness, your peace of mind, your freedom, life. Because see, without the sun, it feels dead where you're coming from. It's darkness and it's death surrounding you, because it's nothing but chaotic energy. People that's in a low vibrational state. And this doesn't just have to be the karmic. This could be the karmic's family that's just ratchet, okay? The karmic's friends that's just low vibrational. All they do is gossip and talk and slander, and you know, they're so immature. This could be, you know, it's not just the karmic that surrounds you. And so this is another reason why it becomes that much more difficult in these relationships, because you're not just battling up against the energy of the karmic, but you're also battling the energy of those people that come with the karmic. So you're not just leaving that person behind, you're leaving behind a whole slew of people that have also been working up against you with this karmic relationship. And so consider, this is what needs to be happening. You need to be picking up and walking away, burning out the past and moving towards your happiness. But with this coming out in the reverse, the goal is to keep you on this hamster wheel, on this karmic cycle of the same mess happening over and over again, and never being able to move towards your destiny and this new opportunity that is presenting itself, that has a strong potential to grow. Okay, so look at this. You have the Hermit coming out here. Many of the masculine and feminine are now going within, wanting to have time just alone, okay? Wanting to just say, okay, I'm isolating myself from the situation. And so it could be that you may not necessarily be in union with a karmic partner, but you are definitely spending time alone. You might have pulled yourself away from that person. Because again, this message is very specific. This is not for those of you who will say, well, I haven't been in a relationship in 10 years. I'm not dealing with anybody karmic. This is specifically for those of you who have been in relationships within the past, recently, with karmic partners who find that there's a strong resistance that they have at this point, and now they're trying to kick up a lot of dust and chaotic energy towards you because they recognize that you're pulling away. They recognize that they can no longer feel your energy. Okay, it's like you're so elevated, you're so far up that they can't reach you. They can't feel your energy anymore, and it's scaring them because they know, again, the first card that came out is the Tower, and they know that they're going to be falling head first because they did a lot of things that they had no business doing. But see, the crown was never theirs to begin with. You see that? They was the false person. They was never to be crowned your king, your queen, your god, your goddess. They never had the right to take on that position. But they played their purpose, and their purpose was to come in and to create so much havoc in your life that you would end up waking up and saying, oh, this is not it. And you would end up taking your power back and creating those healthy boundaries, not just with them, but with people that are like them. Okay. And so many of the divine masculine and feminine are now in isolation, are in hermit mode. And in that energy, you're able to do some deep self reflecting. You're able to really take a look at these relationships that you've been involved in with these karmics. And you're starting to see very clearly just how toxic it was. Okay. You're gaining clear insight. Look at that. What's coming out is the high priestess. So this is that energy of turning within. This is that energy of listening to your intuition, listening to your spiritual team and the Most High, and those uploads that are coming through that's telling you this is not it. And I also feel that even from a distance, this is also showing me that the telepathic communication that's happening between the divine masculine and feminine is becoming that much stronger. It's becoming that much more heightened, okay? Because both of these cards are very spiritual in nature when you consider the Hermit and the High Priestess. And so this is where you're able to make a very sound comparison between the energies of the karmic, who might be right there in your physical space, but you feel nothing, compared to the divine masculine or feminine, who's probably at a far distance, but yet you feel all of this love, and you feel the strong magnetic pull, and something that cannot be replicated or duplicated, in spite of, I don't care how much sex magic is done by the karmic, or how much they try to use financial manipulation, or having, some of them even end up getting impregnated, or having children, in order to make you think that somehow this was destiny. Now that child is supposed to be here, but the relationship itself is not for the long term, not for a lifetime, not when it comes to your destiny and you stepping into your calling. They don't have no place there, not the karmic. Okay. And so, yeah, look at that. I told y'all 10 of Cups is in the reverse. They have no place there, in spite of the fact that there are, children that have been brought into the relationship. The children are supposed to be here, but the karmic, they don't have no place in your life. Okay. They're not supposed to be there for the long haul, because there's too much unhappiness that is being created within those relationships. And the longer that you stay, the longer that the divine masculine or feminine stay in these karmic unions, the more tower moments that take place, the more chaotic energy that is going to kick up, and the more that you're going to feel a stronger pull to your actual divine masculine or feminine. And so eventually this is how it's supposed to work. It's all orchestrated this way so that you can ultimately make the sacrifice of saying, I recognize what's being revealed to me. I understand the purpose of these unions. I understand the purpose of me first coming into union with myself and stepping into my own power, taking my power back, and walking away from all people, places, and things that no longer serve me, no matter whether we have children together, whether we have financial investments together, whether we have a whole lot of time that has been invested in this relationship. Ultimately, I have to make the decision that is in alignment with my evolution, that is in alignment with my growth, and that is in alignment with my purpose, okay? And so that's how you show that you're ready to actually receive your inheritance. But see, the fact of the matter is the strength card is in a reverse. So many of the divine masculine and feminine are not feeling strong enough. This is where you need to work on your solar plexus chakra. This is where you need to be putting those affirmations out there of strength and being powerful and burning out any energy that is in opposition to you being the strongest version of yourself. Burning and writing, burning and releasing anything that is in opposition to you being courageous enough to take the initiative to walk away from these connections, okay? Take your power back. You also have here, look at that, the stars in the reverse. There's still some healing that needs to happen. And this is the reason why many of the unions have not come together, because as long as you are still broken, then you will be attracted to a karmic. As long as you are still unhealed, then you will be very easily drawn into the trauma bonding that these karmics do, the emotional manipulation that they bring. It'll be something that will easily draw you right back in and keep you stuck on that hamster wheel where you're still taking constant losses, whether it's emotionally, financially, physically, spiritually. You'll be taking all of these losses, stand on that karmic wheel, on that cycle with this karmic partner. But you can't, it's this energy of not being able to pull yourself off until you do the work to heal. That's why the hermit is here. Deep reflecting, going within, allowing the transformation to happen and seeing things through your spiritual eyes. Don't look at this through your natural eyes, because if you look at it through your natural eyes, the only thing you're going to be thinking about is materialism or anything that's in your carnal nature. So you'll be thinking about, well, if I walk away, then I might lose the house. If I walk away, then I might have to pay child support. If I walk away, then I might not have the luxuries of having this or that, or, oh, then I won't have this person's sex anymore. Because see, they've been doing so much manipulation through the sexual energy that it has your mind all warped and messed up into thinking we have a real connection because the sex is good. But the only reason why the sex is so heightened if they ain't doing sex magic is because every other aspect of the relationship is depleted. It's not there. The emotional aspect, the mental stimulation, having intellectual or stimulating conversations, the spiritual connection, the spiritual growth. When that stuff is lacking, then of course the sex is great, because that's about the only thing that you have to do. So we also have here the hangman. So this is what I was, telling you all. In the hangman position, you start to see things from a different perspective. You start to see, this is where you start to accept the transformation. This is where you start to embrace the changes that are happening, because now you're not looking through your natural eyes anymore, but you're looking through your spiritual eyes. And so this is what needs to take place here. The hangman energy. Shift your vision, shift the way that you see this thing, because you have to recognize when you actually make the sacrifice, because the hangman is also about sacrifice. When you make the sacrifice to walk away from karmic energies and to move towards your divine union, there is a floodgate of blessings and abundance that awaits on the other side for those two people. You become a power couple. And so everything that you thought you had with the karmic, let's say you came into union with a karmic that has some sort of financial wealth, at least they think they do, but they're lacking in every other aspect of wealth. They have no peace, they have no happiness, they have no inner love, no self-love, no joy. All of these things are lacking. They're very carnal minded, they're stuck in materialism. So there is no real growth that happens after that. All you have is just things and stuff. And that void space is still very much so present. You're still never fully fulfilled in that relationship, in spite of having the fanciest car, the biggest house, this, that, and the third. It's still not enough to fill the void, because what you need goes beyond the material. So let's say you have that. When you come into union with your divine masculine and feminine, the two of you, because the energy is so heightened, because you're projecting the energy of love, your heart chakra is completely open. The heart chakra is the magnetic energy. An open heart chakra allows you to attract. And so you end up being in a position where all of those seeds, everything that you thought about or everything that you was manifesting in your own mind, suddenly everything begins to come to you. All of these. And so that's another way, that's another way to know whether or not you're actually currently in a divine union. Okay, because some people might, have it twisted. You're going to know if that person is your person. I don't care if they talk in spiritual. I don't care if they know the language, because a lot of these karmics know the language, and behind the scenes they working in darkness in order to keep the true divine masculine and feminine apart. They might be able to talk to you about spirituality, but many of them, when you wake up from that spell, your discernment will tell you if that person is really your divine masculine and feminine based on the energy that they truly project behind, when they take the mask off. And you know what they look like with that mask off, okay? When you look at them through your spiritual eyes. So keep that in mind as well. But yes, you'll know if you're in a divine union or not, because the two of you will be able to grow in ways that even go beyond the material, okay? And you'll be in your calling, you'll be in your purpose. You won't feel the resistance. You won't feel like you have to stay in a certain 9 to 5 or a certain career path that's in opposition to your calling. You're going to be able to readily walk into that. So you'll know it's going to come to you because these spells are being broken. So even those things that were illusions that might have been, it seems so close and it seems so similar because the energy and that pull was just so strong and they're speaking the right language. You're going to know because the spell has been broken. Don't second guess and don't question yourself. You still need to make the exit once it's revealed to you that this person is not your person. Okay? So let's see what else is coming out. You have here the Hierophant. So we got a lot of spiritual cards coming out. We got the High Priestess, the Hermit, the Hierophant, the Hangman, and this is definitely showing me, this is also dealing with unions. This is also dealing with marriage. Some of you have gone into false contracts with the karmics, but this is also showing me those unions are coming together, okay? Just make sure that you're very well aware of who is there to eyewitness those unions, okay? Even when it comes to the person who's actually bringing the union together. You also want to be clear about that too. Yeah, see, I got a couple of cards coming out here. See, these two cards, this deals with the 5 of Cups and the 9 of Swords. So this is that painful energy, that burdensome energy, sleepless nights, going through constant, pain, focusing in on the spilled cups, overthinking, mental confusion, all types of things that's going on emotionally because of the resistance of walking away from these unions. And that's another way that you know that you are in a karmic relationship. And so consider this, it's so many people that don't want to see you here, which is the Star card. This is that energy of being the chosen seed. You're balanced, you're connected to nature, you're transparent, you're authentic to who you are, okay? You have done the work to heal. You have that divine connection. And so I feel like there is a strong pull between the divine masculine and feminine, and it is stressful. It's one of those things that is becoming more worrisome or stressful for those people who are separated, that have met but are separated. But it's just showing you that the energy is gaining momentum, and that type of energy is picking up only because you're being called to make the exit. Take the risk, take the leap of faith, and move towards your partnership. Okay? You have here, look at that shit. Let me tell y'all something. This is not a game, okay? I said take the leap of faith, and what is this person doing? This is the Fool card. Take the leap of faith and move towards your partnership, because there you're going to find all of this beautiful energy that you're not going to fall. You're not going to land hard. You're going to land softly right where you're supposed to land. It's destined for you to start all over again, to have a fresh, clean slate towards those things that bring you happiness, towards this divine partnership that's going to bring you peace, okay? It couldn't get no more clear than that. And with this card, they're holding an amethyst. The amethyst represents the intuition. It helps to strengthen your intuition. And so it's showing me that for those of you who have not taken the leap of faith, you want to work more on your spiritual eyes, work more on opening up your spiritual eyes so that you can see past the illusion. That way you can understand why you're being called to take the leap of faith forward. Because these two cards are the same cards, just different decks. This is sleepless nights. This is overthinking. This is being stressed out. This is not the type of energy that you want to stay in. It is not conducive to growth. It is not conducive to happiness or peace of mind. Staying in these karmic relationships. Let these people go. Friends, family, karmic partnerships, even if it's down to your children, if they are resistant to doing the work themselves to heal and they're only bringing in negative energy into your life, you can love them from a distance and do what's necessary to continue to grow and to continue to take the path and to go down your divine journey. You don't want to miss out on things holding on to the wrong type of energy, okay? So let me see. I'm gonna just pull from this other deck real quick, just to see what else is coming out, and I'll be closing out, y'all. If you want a private reading from me, you can email me. My email is always in the description box, okay? For those of you who have a hard time finding my email, I'm going to start making little posts every few days just to update you all on my email information, because I get a lot of people telling me or saying in the comments, I don't know how to find your email. It's in the description box. When you go and look into my channel and you see the description of my channel, you'll find it there. So what do we need to know? What do we need to know? Because like I said, all eyes on you. And there's so many people that are aware that these unions are coming together and they can't stand it. They could not stand seeing me getting ready to walk down that aisle. But the beautiful thing is that I was able to tune out all of that negative energy, standing there with my one purple flower and my oversized dress. I still found the beauty in what was getting ready to take place. And that was those tears of joy that came spilling out. Because I was able to stay focused on what this was really about. It wasn't about the dress. It wasn't about the bouquet. It wasn't about the number of people that was actually happy for us. It was about the union coming together. And I felt that energy real strongly in my dream, okay? So what else do we need to know before closing out here? Look at, oh my gosh, y'all, look at this. Commitment. What did I tell you? Commitment. The unions are coming together. What does this say? Long-term relationship, commitment. And see, the thing about this, there's nobody in the background of this picture. It is literally only the divine masculine and feminine. That is it, and that is all. Completely focused in on one another and focused in on the sacred union that has finally been able to come together. And all you see is the love between the two of them. No outsiders looking and gossiping and, you know, having all of this slander and sending the evil eye and all of this other stuff. None of that, okay? I'm telling you, these unions are coming together. My dream confirmed it. But it also confirmed that there's a lot of people that's in opposition to it. So be mindful of that, you know. But generally, once the divine masculine and feminine, once you awaken and you heal, you're no longer concerned about having a wedding where it's a whole bunch of people around. See, this is the energy, y'all. Lockdown, mental prison, and confined. So I feel like those who are still in these very toxic karmic partnerships, they feel trapped. They're very much so in their head. They're feeling stuck. But at the same time, because at the bottom of the deck we have alien, telepathic dreams and songs, we're connecting with each other through music. We're connecting with each other through our dreams. Even in our awakened state, you have that feeling and where you can feel your partner from even a distance. I don't care if you're from across the other part of the globe, you can feel their energy. And so these things cannot be, I mean, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. And so this is where at the bottom of this deck you have ascension, spiritual path, awakening. This is saying take the path. Go ahead and climb and ascend higher so that you can come into union with your person, because this is what it's going to be until you do. It's going to be that type of energy where it's like, I can't get this person off of my mind. You know, every song that you hear, it reminds you of that person. every time you have a dream, there's something there, or many times when you have a dream, you'll pick up on their energy, that telepathic communication. It's that feeling of, I can't I can't release myself from this, because that's that strong pull and that connection. These are soul ties that are strongly bonded, that have been waiting to come together again for many lifetimes. But the thing is, we come together in past lives, but there's always some sort of energy that prevents us from staying together. So you recognize that person again in this lifetime. That's why you have that familiar feeling from the very first time that you meet them. However, the fact of the matter is, y'all have gone through many cycles of trying to bring these unions together and constantly having resistance to keeping them together. And so, one last card, and I'm going to close out, y'all. It's time to take the leap of faith, though. Look at this, y'all. Divine Masculine. It's time to take the leap of faith. Specifically, the Divine Masculine has come out. And I said this is the last card, but see, this card is at the bottom. Anxiety. They're very anxious. They're scared. They're panicking. They might even want to send you a message. There's certain things that they might want to say, but they're going through anxiety about this, because many of the Divine Masculine, they're going through the ascension process. Some of them are still gaining an understanding of what this is, because the Divine Feminine, I feel like we have awakened before they did, but it happened like that for a reason. But ultimately, the Divine Masculine is the one that's being called to jump. That doesn't mean that the Divine Feminine are not being called to take the leap of faith out of karmic partnerships. Yes, but the Divine Masculine is being called to jump when it comes to taking the initiative to go get his queen, to go get his goddess, okay, to go get his Divine Feminine. But he's afraid. He's having anxiety behind that, because he knows that this connection is very strong, and he hasn't felt anything like this before. And so it may be something that's very scary for him, but ultimately it's going to be very, very, very rewarding for the both of you when you come together. So there's that fine Divine Masculine. They are fine as wine, okay? And they are being called to step into their power and to move towards their union. So I love you all. That was the message. And I'll talk to you all next time.